Hello, this is Jimmy Lennon Jr. and a big shout out to my friends at Valera Boxing. It's showtime.
Valera Boxing, idol, shout out.
This Tuesday, May 7, Naoya, the monster Inoue of Japan, will face the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire of the Philippines, for a second time in a unification bout at Super Arena in Saitama, Japan, for the IBF, WBA, and WBC Bantamweight Championships of the world. In the US, Inoue versus Donaire II will broadcast live on ESPN+. IBF and WBA World Bantamweight Champion Inoue boasts a record of 22 wins and no losses, with 19 of those wins by knockout. He's coming off an 8th round TKO victory over Arandipayan in December of last year in Japan. Future Hall of Famer and 4-division champion, the 39-year-old Nonito Donaire boasts a record of 42 wins and 6 losses, 20 of those wins by knockout. He's coming off a 4th round knockout victory over Raymart Gabayo this past December in Carson, California, successfully defending his current WBC World Bantamweight Championship. Magandang araw sa inyo lahat, lalo mga kaibigan nasa Pilipinas. I'm Chris from Valera Boxing, and I'm joined by Monty and Carlo. Monty, Carlo.
Hello.
As boxing fans, we're fortunate they're doing this again. Inoue is recognized as the number 3 pound for pound. Nonito Donaire is a Hall of Famer, becoming champion again at age 39. Both have tremendous power. Inoue is known as a devastating body puncher. Donaire is known for his left hook. They last fought in November of 2019, with Inoue winning unanimously with a knockdown of Donaire in the 11th round. Donaire showed tremendous heart and his power, breaking Inoue's orbital bone. Neither has lost a step since that fight 2 years ago, and in a few days, they get to do it again. Monty, your thoughts on Inoue versus Donaire II this Saturday?
Well, I think we're in for some amazing fireworks. I think we're in for a knockdown, drag-out war. It is not going to – I don't think it's likely to go the distance, because the two men know each other so well from the war that they fought the last time around that despite it being 2.5 years since they fought each other, I think that the getting to know each other period will be very, very fast, and that they may, this isn't round 1, it's going to be round 13 to start this thing. So I predict fireworks, and I know we'll get into it later, but I'm going to give Inoue the edge for now.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up where they left off. This is a very important fight for both of them, especially for Donaire. We can't ignore the fact that he's 39. He wants to make a really big impact, towards the end of his career. Really on the fence with whoever's going to win this fight. It's going to be a good fight. There are some, I'm sure they changed their game plans and how to approach things. A lot of them showed, they both showed some different things that they haven't done to each other from the last fight. So I can't wait to point those out and share like what I think are the keys to the victory for either fighter.
So I mentioned neither has lost a step since their first fight in 2019. In fact, whoever's been put in front of both of these guys, they've destroyed. Especially Nonito Donaire, who did shock a lot of people in the boxing world over the last 2 fights, claiming the WBC belt over Ubali, and then knocking out who a lot thought would have a good chance to challenge Nonito Donaire and Raymart Gabayo, who was undefeated at the time, a 24-year-old or a young Filipino, and he disposed of him quite quickly, again, with just devastating power and ability. And that just speaks to the experience, ability of the Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire, it can't be ignored that there's a 10-year difference between the two, despite their skill set and their ability. I mean, Naoya Inoue is in his prime at 29 years old, and Nonito Donaire is 39 going to 40. But at the same time, like you guys said, this is the 13th round of this great rivalry here. And you know, as boxing fans, not just for Filipinos or for Japanese, but for everybody that certainly respects the ability of these two. This is really a treat. Inoue is the number 3 pound for pound in the world. And, you know, he may not get the recognition that a lot of the other boxers get in the boxing world, but this is certainly one of the elite and one of the greats in the sport. Not just now, but if he continues on this run, he'll be one of the greats of all time, especially as a bantamweight. I mean, he's just tearing through people in the bantamweight division. And, you know, we were just speaking about the bantamweight division in a previous preview, and we know, you know, we have some folks that we followed quite closely, especially from the Philippines at 118. 118 is stacked, and these two are at the top. But let's talk about the first fight. Technically, what did each fighter do well? Let's start with Inoue. What did he do well to come out victorious against Nonito Donaire in that first fight?
He fought him. I think that's what Inoue did. He didn't back down. He fought him. He figured out that Donaire is going to throw a lot of left hooks. A lot of left hooks. Some of it are going to miss. Some of it's going to land. And in fact, it landed, right? And it damaged his orbital bone. Now, the only thing about that is when someone took that left hook, and I mean, Inoue was able to take that left hook and survive. What now for Donaire? And Inoue is that guy. He's younger. That's probably, you know, his youth probably saved that. You know, the reason why he probably was you know, able to survive is his youth, his age, his great conditioning. Not to mention, he has great conditioning. So, I mean, if you get hit with his best, if you get hit by the best shot of your opponent, what's the plan B for Donaire? So Inoue did that so well. He didn't back down. He you know, no matter if he got hurt, he didn't show that, and he continued to fight. And that's what happened. It was a great fight, and he ended up winning it. And that's the reason why they're doing it again. It was a great fight, and I'm sure this second one's going to be the same.
Monty, what did Inoue do well in that first fight?
I think that he never wilted under the great pressure, and he took, as like Carlos said, you know, Donaire's best punch, that left hook, many times, and he would be staggered, he would be stunned, but he never quite quit on the, you know, never quite caved in. And I think that many other lesser fighters would have broken under that kind of pressure, because Donaire was giving it everything he got, and Inoue took it. And another thing is, another reason why he won is Donaire had to take certain breaks. It's obvious throughout the course of that fight that there were certain moments of inactivity, and his pace would slow abruptly, and one could tell he was resting. Inoue pushed him during those times, and that's why he was able to take those rounds. And I just think that while Nonito Donaire's power hasn't declined, I think that his stamina will continue to be pushed, because there were lulls in his game where he definitely had Inoue on the back foot and appeared to slow. So I need to see that.
Donaire was knocked down the 11th round, but he survived all 12. So what else did Nonito Donaire do to not only survive that fight, but also inflicting damage on Naoya Inoue? What did he do well in that first fight?
I think the fact that he hits hard with that left hook. He hits hard. He has speed. He still has his speed. I think that puts fear in people, and I think that makes them cautious. You know, we all know he does that. He punches well. He has that left hook so well. I think that by itself makes people cautious and makes them careful and makes them aware. They know what he does well. So, you know, I think it's up to the opponent. So what they're going to do well instead of Donaire. You know, that's a ruthless punch, and he'll throw it throughout the fight. He doesn't even try to, he's throwing it, it's coming. So it's more of like what is the opponent gonna do best to survive that left hook and coming.
Monty, what did Donaire do well in their first fight?
I mean, he never backed off. He showed his chin and he showed his undeniable heart and courage because, like I said, the compliment I gave Inoue, a few moments ago, that other men would have wilted. The same could have been said for Donaire, that other men would have had every right to go on a shell or go on their bike. But when he stood toe to toe with him and traded hard, we knew that it was going to be a war. And so what he did well, he weathered the storm and continued to try to fight his fight. The only thing that I think failed him is just a little bit of stamina towards the later rounds. And there's a reason why the knockdown happened in the 11th round as opposed to the 6th round.
So let's talk about keys to victory here. What does Naoya Inoue need to do to come out victorious on Tuesday?
Well, we all know he has his stamina. We all know he has his speed. We all know he can counter. Those things he can all do to win that victory. But I think with Inoue's age and stamina, I think he needs to push and test Donaire's age and conditioning. Okay. We know the left hook's coming from Donaire, so he's gonna have to either keep the right hand up, make the adjustments right away, and just time it, knowing it's coming. I think if someone throws that left hook 100 times, you're gonna figure out, like, you're gonna have to make the adjustment of either get out the way, step back, or go under it, something. But I think Inoue is gonna test Donaire's age, conditioning, and push him against the ropes and get those rounds. It doesn't have to be knockout. It doesn't have to be a knockout punch. It doesn't have to be an early stoppage, things like that. I think he just needs to show the judges that he can push Donaire in the ropes. He did that last time, and land cleaner punches. So Inoue can do that. So if he shows that consistently throughout the fight, I think that's his key to victory.
I really think for Inoue to come out with a victory is more or less fight a more disciplined fight. I think that he got, suckered or tempted into, these kind of vicious exchanges that I think he took unnecessary damage. So I think that a lot of the problems he had, he can possibly avoid and use it to his advantage and profit from it by boxing a little bit more and wear out and test Donaire's conditioning. Get him, take him into deep waters, but and continue to invest in his body. I mean, he's a little bit on the older side, and he usually comes in fighting at a little bit fleshy. So then again, you also have Inoue. He has one of the best straight right hands to the stomach in the sport. So if he wants to take advantage and build on what he did in the last fight and actually stop Donaire, he has to work the body.
Let's provide some thoughts on what the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire, needs to do to come out victorious on Tuesday. Monty.
I think he has to start strong and test Inoue right away, test his faith in his, reconstructed orbital bone. He has not, Inoue has yet to fight a puncher with Donaire's power since this fight in 2019. So one could say that it hasn't been tested. And so a lot of times fighters have a psychological barrier when they're coming over surgery, and it's literally the same man who did it to you. And so that's extremely compelling, I think. But that only happens if he brings the pressure. He can't fight too tactically because, like I said, this is round 13. Inoue has already made his adjustments. This team has watched that fight many, many times over, right? They're very thorough. And likewise, the same holds true. So we've got to come with aggression and try to win it in the first half. Cannot fall behind, and also invest in the body.
I agree with that. Invest in the body. I mean, first of all, Donaire, what Donaire needs to do is, Donaire knows he's throwing the left hook, but he knows Donaire's going to throw that left hook. So I think it's going to be all right, he needs that timing, all right, timing. But if you gotta, these are elite fighters, they're world class. So Donaire's gonna throw that left hook a million times. Then Inoue is smart. He's gonna figure out how to get out of that left hook. But at the same time, that's his best punch, right? So he's gonna have to just time it. I never really saw Donaire use his jab much. All right. He likes to throw that left hook. He likes to throw that right hand and then the left hook. All right. But I never saw the jab, right hand, and left hook and things like that out of Donaire. I mean, he's throwing power. He's throwing bombs. But I mean, he has the speed that comes with it. So it's probably I don't know what saves him from, like, he feels like probably don't need to jab because he has the speed as fast as throwing a jab to try to set something up. But he also showed what he can do to a young fighter like Gaballo. Gaballo is young, undefeated, strong, fast. And what did he do? He threw a left hook, except the left hook landed on the body.
Demolished him.
Body. I agree. Invested a body, right? That ended the fight. All right. You said Gaballo is coming hard. He's throwing right hands and things like that. And why not use that? You have the experience. All right. I think he just timed it well. He timed that left hook, except he was in the body, and it ended the fight. I think that he can take that experience and apply it to Inoue. And hey, you know, it could work. It could work. So, but I think these guys are going to, in the first few rounds of the fight are going to be get to know rounds, and they're gonna throw feints, and they're gonna try to make each other set traps, make each other react to their feints, and whoever can time who. So it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's a slow start because it's gonna be timing. It's just gonna be a lot of thinking, pretty much. It's gonna be it's whoever makes the first mistake, and they're gonna capitalize from that. So it's gonna be a great fight.
What I love about Donaire is that he's rejuvenated his career. Not that his career hit a significant lull, but he's doing this in the later stage of his career, and he's doing this at a high level. And he's, like I said previously, whoever has been put in front of him since that Inoue fight, he is just demolished with devastating power. And he has the prestigious green belt around his waist. And he's hoping to keep that belt and gain others after the decision or the result on Tuesday. This is going to be round 13, like you guys said. And, regardless of what happens, all of us are really fortunate to see to the elite, and perhaps even under-recognized outside of for folks who pay close attention to all of boxing. This is going to be just like their first fight, potential for fight of the year. And I can't wait to see it. Again, round 13, and who knows, they're going to be around 25 somewhere down the line. So let's talk about predictions here. Carlo, what is your prediction for Inoue versus Donaire 2 on Tuesday?
Chris, this is a tough one for me, it's such a tough choice for me. So, but I think Inoue's conditioning, countering, as much as Inoue's countering and a conditioning, I think he's going to win this fight by late stoppage.
Yeah, I'm going to double down on that. It'll be a late stoppage, if not unanimous. I think that his activity, his work level, and he will have adjusted to some of the gaps that he had in the first fight. And nothing to take away from the Filipino Flash. I just
not to take away from Donaire. This is really tough, but we have to make a choice. We have to pick up a fighter. It just happened to be Inoue for this one.
Just because of the stages of their careers and where they are in age. And, obviously the first fight was a tremendous fight, and this one has the potential to be equally exciting, but it is a tall task for Nonito Donaire with Inoue in his prime, number 3 pound for pound. and a unified champion. But I would love to see round 25. And for round 25 to happen, Nonito Donaire is going to need to come out victorious on Tuesday. Leave your comments and let us know who you think will win this Tuesday from Super Arena in Saitama, Japan for the second time. Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire.
Good job.